here is my soldering setup. As you can see, for this mobile, here is the regular soldering iron, and here is the hot air gun I'm going to use to remove this component, the charging base, from the board. So I will show you the process. Actually, I'm going to show in detail what is going on, so that one will learn well everything, every aspect. That is important for me to learn, to give you much more understanding of the system. Not only the work, but the understanding also. Here is what is another product. Most people will know about this. This is the known as the Captain tape, and this Captain tape we are going to use on the board. You can see here is the new charging base. This is a good one. I purchased a new one. This is very inexpensive item, and here is the existing one. The existing one we will remove, but the problem with this one is, you can see here the components, here the component, and these components can be, I mean to say, this LED, this LED, and these resistors, capacitors. If we will apply a hot air over here some way like this, they can flow away with the air pressure and with the heat. So this is something, not a desired thing, which if it is occurring, so then this will destroy the whole board, because we will be no more able to solder these components again, because we don't know the values, and whatever the components we don't have. So to prevent this thing, what we are going to do is, we are using this tape. So this tape, how we are using, this is actually a heat resistance tape, as most people know about this. And it is also another low cost component, low cost item. So what we are going to do is, we are going to apply this tape over here, just a little bit away from the soldering. As you can see on the components, we will apply this. This is actually a narrow tape. Some wider tapes are also coming, but this was available in the market, so I just purchased this one. And here also the same thing we will do with this LED and the other LED also. Here you can see this, just I masked it with this tape. So the thing is, you will have to mask all the other components than the soldering, which you are going to melt, or which you are going to apply soldering on. So this is another LED which I also masked with this tape. So now you can see almost all the components are masked with this tape. We will make another mask also to prevent it further. I mean to say, on the components especially, we will do another masking, so that it will be more safe and more secure as compared to no masking at all. Some people are doing soldering with care without masking even, but that is not for the beginner. This is what I just did, is for the beginner, because in this way the protection will be there. I mean to say, the masking is there, so this will be easy to apply solder or to remove solder from this board, because here now there is no risk of the flying off the components from the board. So this is something, a desirable thing for the beginners. So later on I will do soldering on this one, desoldering. I mean, I will apply flux and whatever. The flux, I don't have the liquid flux, but colophony, this is my favorite flux. I will apply on this one while I will give some heat. Then we will be going to remove items from. So now I am keeping the soldering gun for the heating up, and later on I will show you the rest of the procedure. Now is the time to remove this item from. First we will heat this up. Now I will apply the flux. So this is not a regular flux, this is colophony. So by this way we apply it over here, and then I will provide heat slowly, gently, and from the distance we have to provide the heat, and then we will pick this item from. It is heated up too much. Okay, now we remove the older piece. It's okay, this is over. You can see the color had been changed for the board. We will clean these pads as well as these pads we will clean. We will remove the soldering from. It's okay. So now I'm picking up the extra solder using this wick. Now as you can see, I just cleaned all the pads and everything over here. These holes I cleared, and these pads also I made it ready for soldering. I made flux on. Now is the time to fix this new charging base. So we will put it in the ordinary way as we are normally putting the components in. So this way, but it should be in properly. It should be perfectly in. I mean, it should not be off, so that it will make a proper contact. And now is the time to remove this tape from, because we are no more using the hot air, but we are using the regular iron to solder this thing. So we will cut it off and then remove it some way like this. It's okay. Later on we will remove all, and now I just cut it one piece, so something like that. And these four connections which you can see here, I will just point it with soldering wire. These four connections we will be soldering with a board with this charging base. So we are using a very thin soldering iron to do this job. Just carefully we will solder these connections with the board. Care is a must in this job, because we should not create any short circuit. Short is here is the enemy. We will not make any short, and we will not make any loose. Both are enemies in electrical. So this thing is in, and hope it will make connections. So now is the time to solder these pads. We will be using the regular soldering wire to solder these pads with the board. I mean, with this, from this charging base to the board, we will make these connections. These are actually for reinforcement of the charging base to the board. This is the purpose of this soldering. We will not make blobs of soldering, but we will just make enough soldering quantity to hold these pads with. So you can see now these are just soldered as they were. From the other side also I did the same thing. So now this charging base is in. We will put this whole thing in the mobile phone, and then I will show you while it will be charging. So I will remove all these tapes. You can see nothing flew away, as it was expected that nothing should be flown away, and it is. So maybe this video will be a little bit bigger for this job, but understanding is a must to give to the beginner, even so that a beginner will be able to attempt such a job if he or she wants. Now here, as you can see, the battery is 7%, and it is asking that the battery is getting low. So connect charger. This is what is the message. So we are going to connect this charger in. Now you can see, and the message disappeared, and you can see here this battery is running off. Now here is the red indication. Just I can see this red indication. Maybe you will be able to see on camera. Yes. So this is the charging indication, which is telling that the charger is connected and the mobile is charging. So here now it is almost 1%. So messages are coming because this mobile was switched off for a long time. A lot of messages will come. This is something normal, but what I'm going to show you is the battery. Here this battery is. So this is showing charging. Now the battery is charging and it is 0, so it will go up and up, then it will be charged, and the charging indication is of course over here. So this is showing 1% it went, so it will get 100%, I'm sure, because now this problem has been solved for this charging port or charging base. Okay, thank you for watching. Keep on watching, stay tuned, subscribe and like.